Napoleon was born on August 15, 1769 in Ajaccio, Corsica, and was given the name Napoleon, which is in French. His name became Napoleon Bonaparte. He was the second of 8 children of Carlo or Charles Bonaparte and Letizia Marino Bonaparte, both of the Corsican Italian gentry. No Bonaparte had ever been a professional soldier. Through his father's influence, Napoleon was educated at the expense of King Louis XVI at Brienne and the École Militaire in Paris. Napoleon graduated in 1785 at the age of 16 and joined the artillery as a second lieutenant. However, Napoleon's family background made life difficult for him at school, where he was isolated and he lacked a good relationship with the children from rich family background. He had a miserable life, but he did well in mathematics and military science. When he was given permission to go home in 1791, he overstayed, and on return to Paris, he found out that he had been dismissed. But due to poor of artillery officers, Napoleon was called back in the army and became a lieutenant colonel. In 1795, Napoleon Bonaparte saved the Directory government from royalist uprising, and he was promoted to brigadier general and married with Josephine de Beauharnais, a daughter of Barras, who was the first director of the Directory government. So we are going to talk about the factors which led to the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. There were various factors which lay behind Napoleon's meteoric rise to power in France. Below are the main ones. First is his military genius. From a very young age, Napoleon developed interest in military education. When his father enrolled him at the military school outside Paris, he devoted himself to mastering military tactics. This was to be an asset in his professional career. He kept on winning victories in battles, hence winning the admiration of people in both the military and civilian population. A like example, in 1793, he routed British forces from the French port of Toulon, while in 1798 he made an successful attempt to conquer Egypt, where he kept the outcome away from the French ordinary public. He also registered victories against the Austrians, success in the military excursions, and he fueled his ambition. In politics, he was very calculating and measured. Most of the time he joined the winning side. No wonder he has joined the ranks of military geniuses in history. The second factor is weakness of the Directory government. The French government ruled in the period of 1795 up to 1799, just after the occurrence of the French Revolution, was known as the Directory. It had many weaknesses that crippled it from creating stability. First, its leaders were rich speculators and war profiteers who rose to prominence during the first 2 stages of the revolution. The leaders were also torn between pleasing the radical and conservative divide in the French society. Things were made worse by their opulent lifestyles, which threw in the face of the more democratic legacies of the revolution. Lastly was that they fought against and moved to abolish private property and parliamentary-style government. The Directory even went to the extreme by annulling election results where people had voted for monarchists in March 1797. The body was also accused for corruption. It only remained in power through the help of the army. Citizens had lost confidence in it. So the third is the poor economic condition. Prices of wheat and other foodstuffs skyrocketed day in and day out. French citizens found themselves in severe economic conditions. The poor political climate made the situation worse. People yearned for a leader who could bring the situation to an end. Such a leader lacked from the group in the Directory. It was just an issue of when and not if he could come from outside. The leader came in Bonaparte. So the second factor is Napoleon's personality. Napoleon was a man of strong personality. He was the answer to the prayers of the Directory and many of the French citizens alike. Being a strong and a popular leader endeared him to his countrymen. He is quoted saying that impossible only existed in the dictionary of fools. This demonstrated his strong belief in his ability to accomplish a task he set to achieve. It was such a personality that most French people had yearned for. Bonaparte even got the support of Abbé Sieyès, the great supporter of the revolution. Sieyès had in endorsing him thus saying, confidence from below, authority from above. So the another factor is Napoleon's support for the revolution. Napoleon presented himself as the son of the revolution, where he borrowed freely from many different regions. This made Napoleon Bonaparte to fashion himself as the heirs to Charlemagne of Roman Empire. Many Frenchmen were thus attracted by Bonaparte's political tactics. These were clear at every year period. Example, in 1793, he wrote a letter to his brother in support for the Jacobins and Republican rule, but gave a veneer of his thought about the cause of the revolution. So another factor is military support. Closely related to Napoleon's military genius was the support he got from the army. He commanded respectively, which made him to be overwhelmingly be supported by the officers under his command. Napoleon led from the front and mixed freely with the rank and file of the military. His calculating nature made him to strike off the Directory at the opportune time. He addressed that the Directory only survived from the support of the army. It was for this reason that on 19th of November 1799, Napoleon ordered his troops to occupy one chamber of the National Legislature and drive out its elected members. The second chamber, terrified by this development, decided to vote to end the Directory. After it had accomplished its intention, it decided to turn over power to the three officials known as consuls. Bonaparte was one of the three. Soon, he assumed the dictatorial powers as the first consul of the French. So another factor is attacks from French enemy powers. Nationalism was boosted by the persistent attack from France's neighbors, Austria, Russia, Prussia, and Britain. Each attacked France at one time or other during the revolution. These attacks made the French to look inwards. They saw themselves as being under attack from the neighboring states, hence needed a leader who could flex the country's muscles in the enemy territory. Bonaparte was such a person, a general who led his troops to battle, one who had demonstrated his ability against the foreign powers. The people in a referendum held in 1800 showed overwhelming support for a strong leadership. This was clearly shown in the type of the constitution which they voted for. It was this constitution which made Napoleon the first consul, the stepping stone upon which he towered above the other two consuls. Towards his rise to the summit of power, he organized another referendum in 1802, which made him consul for life, and in another 2 years, he decided to make himself emperor. So, Napoleon did much in order to rise his country, where he fought too many campaigns like Waterloo campaigns and other different campaigns, which made France to be a country which is strong. So thank you. I am called Adolf. Please, if you have if this video become to you the best interested video, please make sure that you have subscribed to Dolph Media. So thank you. May God protect you.